Welcome to Boxing Talk Nightly. Um, some good, interesting news from the WBC. Jose Suleiman, he's ordered Golovkin to fight Jermall Charlo, and to me, I'll take that fight. Even though I want Jermall Charlo, he should be able to face Canelo right away. But I guess this is what they're ordering. The winner of this fight will face Canelo Alvarez. This is still a good fight for Jermall Charlo, a good recognition fight, a good fight that he can go into the fight, and if he can prevail, him beating Golovkin, if he can knock Golovkin out, which Canelo couldn't do, which Golovkin has never been knocked out, he can still do something that other fighters have not done to Triple G. He can attempt to knock and stop Triple G. Now, do I think Jermall Charlo will stop and knock out Triple G? I don't know. Triple G, to me, he still looked good in the Canelo fight. He looked good in both Canelo fights, in my opinion. I don't think he slowed down to the point to where I'm gonna say guys are gonna go in there and just stop Triple G. No, 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 no. I'm not at that point. Triple G still got a lot of fight left in him, and to me, this is a dangerous fight for both guys. Really, a dangerous fight for Jermell. He hasn't fought at he's been fighting at a good level, but he has not fought at the level that he needs to fight to beat Triple G. And what I mean by that stage, being on that stage, and with that pressure of that big fight. Now he has the talent to prevail, but does he have the mental capacity, the mental, toughness to be able to, stare Triple G down and go in there and try to win the fight? Don't be like Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, to me, in my opinion, I'm still going to say it. Danny Jacobs looked like, and after the press conference on what he said at the press conference, it looked like he was just happy to survive. So, can Jermell Charlo go in there and believe he can win the fight and fight like, more importantly, fight like he believes he can win the fight? Because it's one thing to believe you can win the fight, and it's another thing to fight like you believe that you can win. So let's hope that they get that fight done. It's a lot of people say that Triple G has been running away from top competition. He fought Danny Jacobs. A lot of people said Danny Jacobs was going to be able to do this versus Triple G and do that, and a lot of people said Danny Jacobs was a credible opponent for Triple G. So he fought Triple G. He fought Canelo twice. Now he's ordered to fight Jermall Charlo if he won a third rubber match with Canelo, which I think Triple G will take the fight, uh, especially if it means that he can get Canelo next. Especially if it means that he will be the mandatory for Canelo next. So yes, I do think that Triple G will take the fight. I'm hoping he will take the fight. That'll be a good fight. You have now, since Canelo won the fight, Canelo is the WBC, WBA champion. You got Billy Joe is the WBO champion. I'll talk about that in a minute. You got Danny Jacobs and him. He's fighting another guy for the vacant IBF, I believe. I believe they fighting for the vacant IBF belt. So Billy Joe, we don't know if he's going to get stripped or not. If he gets stripped, then I believe Demetrius Andrade is going to fight someone else for that title. That's unfortunate. I wanted to see Billy Joe versus Demetrius Andrade. So they may still go through with the fight. They may still go with the fight, and Billy Joe. They may have it a thing where Billy Joe, he can still fight, but he would, if he wins, he doesn't win the title. He just wins the fight. If Demetrius Andrade wins, he wins the title. So that may be something to look into, but hopefully that fight gets to go off. But yeah, I'm excited about them. I'm excited about Jermell Charlo finally getting a big time fight. Him and his brother they both deserve a big time fight. Now, at 154, what's a big time fight for his brother will be against either Laura. I hear Laura saying he's going to move up to 160, or either um what's my guy name at 154? Either he can get Laura at 154, or he can get Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd is the IBF WBA champion. Jermall Charlo is the WBC champion, and Jamie Meganoff, he's the WBO champion. So hopefully the other Charlo brother can get him a big fight, which supposed to be Jared Hurd after Jared Hurd fights the guy that he's fighting. Jared Hurd's supposed to be fighting this warm up, and then after that he's supposed to fight the other Charlo brother. So that's a great fight, man. Between if Triple G go through with the fight, which I think he will, I believe he will. If he go through with the fight, that's a good fight, man. Him and Jermall Charlo. I don't know. I did want him to get his shot at the title versus Canelo. It's kind of crazy that he had that they said the winner of that fight had to fight Jermall Charlo. So it's kind of crazy. Jermall Charlo got to fight the loser to fight the winner. So, I mean, but this can be good for Jermall Charlo too, because if he could beat Triple G and then turn around and beat Canelo, wow. That's an eye popper right there. That's a wow. He has arrived. If he can beat Triple G, a long time champion since at middleweight since Bernard Hopkins, and if he can beat Canelo, who's quote unquote the cash cow, man. So this could be a win-win for Jermall Charlo if he can go into the fight with his mind on right. He's always in shape. He got the ability. His mind has to be right too. Your mind has to be right, especially in this game of anything at a top level of athletics or any type of profession. Your mind has to be sharp. So hopefully he can go in there and beat Triple G and then turn around, fight Canelo on a big stage for a nice little purse, and then beat Canelo. Now Canelo will have a rematch clause in his contract. You can rest assured of that. So Jermall Charlo may have to beat him twice, but look, he could beat any one of those guys if if he's right. I give him a between I say him fighting Triple G and him fighting Canelo. I give him close to 50-50 shot at them two guys. But like I said, they do have the experience of fighting, at a top level. He doesn't have that experience of being on that stage, especially if he fight Canelo. He really don't have experience of being on that stage. That's another stage with all the hype that comes behind the fight. And, Canelo, the whole thing with Canelo, I don't know if Triple G wants any eliminator. If I was him, I would try to get another title fight immediately. Well, this is why I think Triple G will take the fight versus Jermall Charlo. He wants Canelo again. This is the quickest way to get to Canelo, according to Jose Sulaiman in the WBC. This is the quickest way to get to him. You got to beat Charlo to get there. So I'm hoping he take the fight for two reasons. He take the fight versus Jermall Charlo. That's a good fight. That's another really good matchup that we can see. Then if he wins that fight, then he get to fight the rubber match versus Canelo, which would be another good fight because it seemed like they just made for each other. So, and then if Jermall Charlo beat Triple G, we get another good fight between Jermall Charlo and Canelo. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for us no matter how it goes. If Triple G believe they screwed him on scoring cards, I'm not sure if he wants trilogy. They did screw. I believe they screwed him on the scorecards in both fights. So I'm one of the ones that thought Triple G won both fights. Now the second fight was a lot closer to me. I thought the first fight was 8-4. It was a competitive 8-4, but it was 8-4. I thought the second fight, Triple G won at least. I thought Triple G separated himself at least 3-2 rounds, and 3-2 rounds at the least. So, but he is in the situation he's in now. What hurt Triple G in the second fight was they kept saying him and Abel Sanchez. I know you cannot go off of this, but they kept saying that Canelo didn't fight Mexican style. He ran, but he didn't run in the second fight. and Triple G fought off his back foot a lot of times in the fight, a lot in the fight. But Triple G was boxing very well. I thought Triple G was boxing very well. Um, it's just how the aura of the fight was going. It looked like Canelo was more in command than what he really was. You know what I'm saying? Now Canelo landed some really good combinations and some tremendous body punching, body shots. So I thought Canelo did very well, very very well. I thought both fighters did very well. I just had my opinion of who I thought won the fight. I think he won first. Second was a draw, but let's not talk about it. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. But like I said, the WBC ordered Jermall Charlo versus Triple G. To me, a superb matchup. I'm looking forward to it. If I'm hoping it happens because now we can get another great fight. There are two other belts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are two other belts. Yeah, he can go, go try to get the winner of Danny Jacobs versus the guy that he's finna fight, or he can go get the winner of Billy Joe and Demetrius Andrade if that fight go off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's other matchups. But look, the main matchup I want him to. He never fought Jermall Charlo, so that's a good matchup. That's a really good matchup. He never fought him before. He fought Danny Jacobs before. He never fought Demetrius Andrade or Saunders. Yeah, you're right about that. But he never fought Jermall Charlo, so I'm down with that fight. I'm down with that fight. If if Saunders cling to fight, I mean, yeah, like I said, they may do this. They may do this. They may say Saunders can still fight, but if he wins, he doesn't win the title. They just strip him and say, if you win, you don't win the title. If Demetrius Andrade wins, he gets the title. So, they may have that compromise right there, and then the fight still will go off. But the fight's supposed to be the 20th of October. So just drug test Billy Joe a lot, up until the fight. But we have to see what they say about that fight. But let me see, man. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Tyson Fury and Wilder, man. That last press conference, I think Tyson Fury got to Wilder mentally. Got to Wilder. He was talking about. See, he called Wilder all types of names and told Wilder, you got your hair looking like a girl. You're skinny. How can you be the heavyweight champion with your little ankles? He called Wilder. He told Wilder, if I beat you, I'm gonna have you carry my bags. None of that stuff bothered Wilder. It didn't bother Wilder until Tyson Fury said he got knocked out by a Russian, and I guess it was in sparring or something. And look, it may be true because that's when Wilder started getting mad. In my opinion, that's when Wilder started getting mad. That's when the whole thing turned different. The whole vibe turned different. So it could be true. I mean, what people don't realize in sparring, it's a lot of things that happen in sparring, man. People get beat up in sparring that don't say nothing about it. You have great fighters over the years that have been beat up in sparring. So when people say people beating up people or knocking somebody out in sparring, it happens. Mike Tyson got knocked down in sparring. When he was training for James Buster Douglas, he got knocked down in sparring. So, guys get knocked out. Sugar Ray Leonard used to get worked over by Aaron Pryor in sparring. So a lot of fighters, you're not gonna spar all those rounds against all those fighters and think that you're gonna come out on top every time in every round of a fight. People have a misconception on how sparring goes. You're not going to go into sparring. Now, it's different levels of sparring. You don't know. One fighter, sometimes a fighter come into camp a little out of shape. He's not all the way in shape, and he gets his butt handed to him against a guy that's already in shape, that's already, been working out. Case in point, Mayweather fought my guy. What's his name, man? I always forget his name. I get his name, but he sparred against that guy and got worked over. And Floyd Senior said that Floyd, he was not training. He was in between not fighting and he wasn't training. He came into the gym. He sparred the guy. He didn't have no win and all that. But like I told people, you're not going to spar all those rounds against all those really good good fighters or really good fighters and think you're gonna always get the best of every fighter. It's not gonna happen. So Earl Spence got his name from his name was started from Black and Mayweather eye and Days and Broner and sparring. But I haven't heard anything about somebody working Spence over in sparring. I'm pretty sure people have worked him over in sparring. I'm pretty sure he had his bad days in sparring. Every fighter have their bad days in sparring, man. That's just the way it is. But yeah, Tyson Fury got to Wilder. I mean, I'd still pick Wilder to knock Tyson Fury out because, like I said, I don't think Tyson Fury is ready physically, mentally. I just don't think he's ready. Last man, I enjoyed all three press. I mean, I didn't enjoy the first two press conferences. I thought especially the first press conference, I thought they was trying too hard to sell the fight. I didn't think it was and I didn't think it was authentic. I thought it came off as trying to sell a fight, pushy. And the second press conference was a little better, but the third one is the one. Not because they got up and started, pushing around, because Tyson Fury finally got in Wilder's head. But see, Wilder should know this about Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury does this to everybody. He did it against Cesaro. He did it against David Haye, even though they fight got canceled a couple times. He did it against Klitschko. So this is what he does. He's real good at getting under your skin. He's good on that mic. And yes, Deontay Wilder can talk too, but see, Deontay Wilder talks a different way. Deontay Wilder is a serious guy. So Deontay Wilder is not there for jokes. When he talk on the mic, he's gonna talk from a serious standpoint. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna joke. He's not gonna tell jokes and stuff like that. He's not gonna go over the top. Tyson Fury gonna go over the top. Tyson Fury gonna have some truth in what he says and some stuff, some things what he said when he was talking about. He said that Wilder hasn't really. I mean, to me, Wilder has fought people. He does have good people on his resume. He said Wilder haven't fought nobody. He fought Ortiz. Ortiz was 49 years old. And all this stuff. So, but when he said Wilder got knocked out, that got to Wilder. Rumors Broner fighting Pacquiao is it for real? They say Broner may be fighting Floyd Mayweather as a warm up. I don't know. Rumors are what they are. Rumors. I mean, until something come out concrete, I can't say whether he gonna fight Pacquiao. I mean, at this stage, even at this stage of Pacquiao career, Pacquiao gonna beat Broner, man. Broner don't let his hands go. He don't let his hands go when people throwing punches at him, and Pacquiao gonna throw punches at him. He just don't let his hands go, and Pacquiao is not gonna stand in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Broner has more success when you stand in front of him. When you stand in front of him, he can get off pretty good. But when you're not in front of him, you moving around, giving angles. Broner, that's a bad matchup for Broner. I do not watch Wilder for his talk, contrary to Fury. Yeah. Fury can talk on that mic, man. I mean, they still didn't get me. They didn't get me hyped up enough to get me hyped for the fight. I'm still not hyped for the fight, because when you go into a fight and you call a fight a super fight, you have to have two guys who both of the guys, even if you pick one guy to win over the other guy, that both of the guys are ready to go. Both guys are ready to fight. Both guys are close or at the top of their game. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's a super fight. And both guys coming off of really good victories and probably a long winning streak of 5-6 fights or more, fighting other really good fighters. Tyson Fury just hasn't done that. Now, if they would have fought after Tyson Fury came off of beating Klitschko 2 times, then I would have been real hyped. That's a super fight. This is not a super. You got one super fighter in with a non-super fighter, so it's not a super fight. For it to be a super fight, both guys have to be super fighters. Both guys have to be on the top of their game at the same time. Now, people will point to, what about Sugar Ray Leonard when he fought Marvin Hagler? Sugar Ray Leonard was coming off a 3-year layoff. Sugar Ray Leonard had a drug problem. Sugar Ray Leonard did have a drug problem. He did have a 3-year layoff. But what I can say about Sugar Ray Leonard in difference from Tyson Fury, Sugar Ray Leonard had already won huge fights before he fought Hagler. So Sugar Ray Leonard was a star, a superstar. He had beat Benitez. He had beat Hearns. He had won the rematch versus Duran. He won a title at 154 versus Kalu, a guy that had multiple title defenses in his first fight at 154. So he was already established as a super fighter. Now, yes, he did have drug problems. Yes, he came off for 3 years and fought Hagler. But like I said, Ray Leonard was already established. Tyson Fury didn't get established. Yes, he beat Klitschko. It was a snooze fest, but yes, he beat Klitschko in the way he needed to beat Klitschko. But it wasn't a dominant performance like what Joshua did to Klitschko. And then people could say, well, Klitschko was old. Hey, Klitschko looked great in that fight. That was the best looking Klitschko I've seen in a long time, and probably the best looking Klitschko I've seen throughout his whole career, to be honest with you. So Joshua, in my opinion, beat a very good Klitschko, and heavyweights age pretty good over time anyway. So don't give me that Vladimir Klitschko was too old. Yes, he was coming off a little bit of a layoff, which when you a fighter like Klitschko and had that long run, that little layoff that he had probably did good for his body, and it showed that it did good for his body. Because sometimes when you fight that long, fighting that many times in a row, your body do need, you know what I'm saying, do need a little bit of a layoff. I'm okay with an experienced, established fighter that won big fights taking a layoff, because I don't think it really hurts them that much because their body probably needs the layoff. I'm worried when a guy take a long layoff that's not established, that not a that's still pretty kind of that is still kind of young in the game and hasn't really won a big fights. Then that's when I get worried. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit more now. Like I said, taking off a long time is not really good for a fighter because you could develop ring rust. But like I said, a veteran fighter that already been through the fire, got big fights under his belts that he won and he participated in, I'm okay with them taking a layoff. Not a young fighter. Brunner crying after Maidana whoop was one of the funniest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Maidana got him. Maidana, humbled Brunner. But like I said, I used to talk to this one guy named Harold Brazier, and he told me boxing will humble you just when you think that you're all this and that. Boxing will humble you. Yeah, I do not know what to think about Fury. He's probably get KO. Yeah, man, he gonna get. Look, he's gonna. It's up. Look, all the pressure is on Wilder. Tyson Fury has no pressure going into the fight, and I'm gonna say this again. Tyson Fury has no pressure going into this fight. If Tyson Fury lasts 12 rounds and get Deontay Wilder even a comparable hard, difficult fight, that's a win for Tyson Fury. Then Wilder's stock goes down because people gonna say this guy came off of 2 years of being almost 400 pounds on drugs allegedly, uh, and just out of his mind. And the two guys that he fought would not even use these two guys to get him ready for a fight like this of this magnitude. And you let that guy take you 12 rounds and had a little difficulty with him. Wilder is gonna get dragged through the mud, man. So Wilder, to me, Wilder has to go knock him out and knock him out early, within 5 rounds. Knock him out within 5 rounds. Now, people still gonna say the same thing, but at least you got him out of there early and you didn't struggle with him. All the pressure is on Wilder. All the pressure is on Wilder. Wilder has to go in there and take care of business, and it has to be great fashion. Because if Joshua was fighting Fury, I would say the same thing about Joshua. Even if If Dillian White was fighting Fury, I would expect Dillian White to knock him out because, like I said, I don't think Fury is. I think Fury is another year away, and he has to. He to me, he was three more fight. He need three more fights, and two of those fights have to be prominent fights of heavyweight fighters in the top 15. Preferably one of them in the top 10 and two in the top 15. If he would have had three fights and fought two guys in the top 15 and one in the top 10, and then he said he gonna fight Joshua Wilder, I would say he's probably ready because that's three more fights, that's three more training camps, that's three more time, that's three more times where he can get in shape, he can get mentally ready and prepared. You know what I'm saying? When you come off of allegedly coming off of doing drugs the way he was doing drugs, man, you have to get your mind right. Even if your body is even close to being right, your mind, man. What drugs do to your body and mind. White dropped him in sparring many times already. See, like I said, I would expect White to knock him out. I probably would expect Big Baby Miller to knock him out, and Derek Chisora. So, what do you think I expect Wilder to do? I really expect Wilder to knock this guy out in 3 rounds, man. But 5 rounds, it shouldn't go past 5. I'm going to say this again. The Wilder Tyson Fury fight should not even go past 5 rounds. Tyson Fury can talk a good game, but the thing is he ready to fight a good game? And talking and fighting is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how that goes, man. I seen an interview with Sean Porter still talking about fighting Errol Spence. So let's hope, you know what I'm saying, that fight can get completed. I want to see that fight because contrary to what other people think, I think Sean Porter can get Errol Spence a great fight, and it's a 50-50 fight to me. A lot of people will say, oh, man, you're crazy. Somebody's 50-50 fight. He going to knock Sean Porter out. Look, Sean Porter is difficult for anybody. The reason why Sean Porter is difficult for anybody, he comes in shape. He have these awkward movements in the ring where he doing kind of like doing stutter step football moves, and he mix it up with boxing moves. He just moves crazy in the ring. Now, he does jump in. Now, he settled that jumping in stuff versus Danny Garcia. He didn't do it as much. He didn't jump in as much versus Danny Garcia. I didn't see him do it. And they're very aware of Errol Spence and what Errol Spence can do. You know what I'm saying? So they've been around Errol Spence mostly all his boxing career, and a lot of his successful boxing career, as did Errol Spence been around Sean Porter. And I heard that Errol Spence got the best of Sean Porter in sparring. But like I told you, yes, you can sparring can show you some things, but it all depends on if the fighter is working on his weaknesses. You don't know who was working on their weaknesses, who was working on their strengths. You don't know what was going on. You don't know what kind of mindset either fighter came in doing sparring. You don't know what kind of. So yes, it can tell you some things, but it's not going to tell you everything. So when they get in the ring, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a real competitive fight. Trust me. Now, what Sean Porter do very well is put you on your back foot. Sean Porter can put you on your back foot almost better than any fighter in boxing, because Sean Porter has a chin, man. Sean Porter, they both now, him and Errol Spence both like to come forward. Now, to me, Sean Porter has fought the better competition. Sean Porter has been in there with Kell Brook. Now, they both been in there with Kell Brook. And yeah, Errol Spence knocked out and he stopped Kell Brook. That's true. Sean Porter has been in there with Kell Brook. He's been in there with Keith Thurman. He's been in there with Danny Garcia. He's been in there with Devin Alexander. To me, when Devin Alexander still has something left, he was in there with Devin Alexander. So he's been in there with the better competition. Now, people will say, well, the reason why he's been in there with better competition is because they was willing to fight him. I mean, you could say what you want to say, but I'm speaking reality. The reality of the matter is Sean Porter was in the ring with those guys, and Errol Spence wasn't. To me, Errol Spence been in the ring with only one guy who I thought can beat him, and that was Kell Brook. I picked Kell Brook to beat Errol Spence, and he beat the only guy that he was ever in the ring with in his whole career where you can say that was a 50-50 fight. Sean Porter has been in the ring with at least three guys which you could say it was a 50-50 fight. And one of them, hold on, two of them, he was an underdog. He was an underdog versus Danny Garcia. He was an underdog versus Keith Thurman. I believe he could have been the favorite versus Kell Brook, or it could have been an even thing, but he's been in the ring with with better competition. It is what it is. Like I said, you can say guys are ducking Earl Spence. That's why he don't he hasn't been in the ring with them. But like I said, we can talk might or could have been, or we can talk what is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna talk what is. The reality of the matter is Sean Porter has been in the ring with better fighters than more with better competition than Errol Spence has been in with. So, like I said, he fight Earl Spence. This is the 50-50 fight. Earl Spence is not going to go in there and run over Sean Porter. He didn't run over Kell Brook. Now, he was able to break Kell Brook down to the point when he broke his orbital bone, his other eye socket. He was able to prevail in that fight. But the first 6-7 rounds of that fight was iffy. And I had Kell Brook up in that fight 4-2 after 6 rounds. So, take it for what you want to take it for. I think at the Kell Brook, I still picked Kell Brook to fight to beat Earl Spence. I didn't foresee Earl Spence breaking his orbital bone, but he did. It is what it is. You got to talk real, and the real is he was able to stop Kell Brook. Now, I know everybody redid their pound for pound, and there's some people that got Canelo pound for pound, and they got people got top 10. I don't see now. Ring Magazine has Lomachenko as pound for pound best fighter in the world, and they got Terrence Crawford, then they got Canelo Alvarez, they got Golovkin, they got Alexander Usyk, they got Mikey Garcia, number 6, number 7. They have the guy from Japan. I don't know his name. I ain't gonna even try to pronounce his name. They got a guy at number 8. He's from Thailand. And they have number 9. They have Earl Spence. Number 10. They have a guy from the Philippines as number 10 pound for pound best fighter. Now, and the guy they got number 10 pound for pound best fighter, he doesn't have a championship. Maybe he lost it, but he doesn't have one right now. Earl Spence we all know he's the IBF welterweight champion. This guy right here from Thailand, he's the Ring WBC champion. This guy from Japan, he's 16-0 with 14 knockouts. He's ranked 7th pound for pound. He's not a champion. Mikey Garcia is the IBF WBC lightweight champion. We all know that with 39 victories and 30 knockouts. Alexander Usyk, we know he has all the belts. He's ring IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO champion. He's finna fight Tony Bellew. We have, Golovkin. We know he just lost his title. He's number 4. Canelo is the ring WBA, WBC middleweight champion. Terrence Crawford is the WBO welterweight champion in his first fight at welterweight. And we have Lomachenko. He's the ring WBA and WBO junior lightweight champion. But I don't have a top 10, pound for pound list. I only have one pound for pound fighter, and that's Terrence Crawford. I got Terrence Crawford as pound for pound fighter. And simply because he has moved up from 130, 135, 140, 147. He won a belt at 130. He was unified at 135, undisputed at 140. His first fight at 147, he captured a WBO title. So versus an undefeated fighter, you know what I'm saying, and Jeff Horn, who beat Manny Pacquiao. So that's why I have Terrence Crawford as my pound for pound fighter. I don't have no top 10. I only have one. You got to come get him now. Usyk, you know what I'm saying? He's right there. You know what I'm saying? He's right there because If he go up to heavyweight and is able to grab a belt at heavyweight, then I have to think about, you know what I'm saying, possibly. Nah, he still wouldn't. He would have to grab two heavyweight titles. Pound for pound is yeah, it's subject. It's irrelevant, but I mean, you don't put heavyweights in the pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? You don't put heavyweights because pound for pound is predicated on the little guys being able to beat a big guy if they was the same weight. But so pound for pound is unfair for heavyweight. Yeah. You don't put heavyweights in pound for pound. Heavyweights are above. They're above pound for pound. Pound for pound is unfair versus heavyweight. Yeah. They never get the recognition. Wilder versus Fury, good fight. Not to me, Swaggy D. Wilder versus Fury is not a good fight at this stage of Fury's career. I don't see it. I don't foresee it. I can't get hype, man. Like I said, if both of these guys, if Fury was at the top of his game, if he was coming off of beating Klitschko, because he would have to beat Klitschko twice, because Klitschko did have a rematch clause. If he'd have come off beating Klitschko twice, and then him fighting Wilder, I'd be like, man, this is a super fight. It's not a super fight at this stage. All the things that went on, nah, it's not a super fight. Heavyweights is all that matters to me. Yeah, heavyweights is the creme of the creme. You know what I'm saying? You know, boxing started off with heavyweights fighting. You know, to save the little guys from the bigger guys. That's why they came up with all them, you know, different weight classes. You know, we had the 8 premier classes. Then they started adding all these junior. They added all these junior, championship weight classes, and all it did was water down the 8 major weight classes. That's all it did was water it down, man. It just watered it down. If they would have kept it to the 8 weight classes, the 8 original weight classes, boxing would be much better. And they started these junior weight classes, and these guys still can't come in and fight like this is what these junior weight classes do. I'm gonna tell you what. They let fighters hide out and build up their records. You know, build up their records on these junior middleweight. I mean, these junior classes, weight classes. Like, let me see. Now, it should not even be a 126. You should go from 122 to 130. It shouldn't be no 135. You should go from 130 to 140, 140 to 147, and then it shouldn't be no 154. You should fight at 160. Shouldn't be no 168. You should fight at 175. It shouldn't be no cruiserweight. You should fight at heavyweight. Plain and simple. A guy that's fighting at cruiserweight, if he got in shape the way he's supposed to get in shape, he probably should be fighting at 175. A guy at 168, if he got in shape the way he was supposed to get in shape, he probably should be fighting at 160. Same goes on for the 154-pound fighter. He should be fighting at 160. Same goes on for the 140-pound fighter. He should be fighting at 147, and so on and so on. These guys, you know, they get to get into these nice little sweet areas and sit at those weight classes and build up their records versus smaller guys before they move up. That's what it's all about. Because you have guys fighting at 135 and come in the ring at 150 pounds. They fighting at 135, rehydrate. Now, I wouldn't mind if they had these middleweight classes if the guys fight same day weigh in, the fight is the same day. Then okay. You can't hydrate up over 24 hours, hydrate up 15 pounds. If they made the fight, if you weigh in the morning and you fight at night, okay, I wouldn't care. Because that means you're not going to blow up 15 pounds in 10 hours. You can blow up 15 pounds in 24 hours, 26, 27 hours, 28 hours. I'm leaning to Joshua beating Wilder because of his defense and technique. I mean, you know, I got Wilder beating Joshua, but it's a 50-50 fight. It's a close fight to me. In my eyes, it's a close fight. I know it's a lot of people think Wilder going to go in there and just run through Joshua because they, quote-unquote, think Joshua is scared. I don't think Joshua is scared for 1 minute. for 1 minute, 1 second. But there's people out there that legitimately think Joshua's scared. I told the story on my last video that I had two friends. We all used to hang out together, but these two guys they were tough guys in school. Two of the toughest guys in the school. And one day they got into it. I don't know why they got into it. I think it was over a girl, and one of one of them smacked the other. And the one that got smacked, instead of him smacking the other one back or hitting the other guy back, he started crying. So we thought he was scared. You know what I'm saying? We were like, man, we thought dude was tough. He crying. People making fun of him and all that. And the dude that smacked him said, I'm gonna finish this after school. We gonna finish it after school. I'm gonna beat you up at the school. So even he thought that he was gonna have the advantage because the guy was crying. We get outside. I'm telling y'all, the guy that got smacked, who we all thought was scared, mauled that dude. Now, maybe because we were in school, the guy that got smacked didn't want to smack the guy back, or didn't want to, or maybe he didn't want to fight him because we were all three of us was really good friends. Maybe he didn't want to fight his friend. Maybe he was hurt that his friend hit him. I'm talking about, I ain't talking about physically hurt. I'm talking about just hurt because he didn't think that his friend would do that to him. But when we got outside, it was a different story. He beat that guy to a pulp, and it wasn't even close. So you got to be careful when you think somebody is quote unquote scared of you. Why WBC order Canelo versus Charlo? Uh, Alman did. He ordered Canelo versus Charlo in a winner fight. Why didn't he order Canelo versus Charlo? Yeah, to me, I don't understand why he ordered Canelo versus Charlo because they already said the winner of that fights the winner of Canelo versus Golovkin have to fight Charlo. So I don't understand. I don't understand why Charlo has to fight Golovkin to be able to earn a shot at the title when he should have got a shot at the title now. But I told that like I said earlier, this can be real good for Charlo because if he can beat Golovkin and Canelo, he's that dude. He's that dude if he can beat both of them. So, and I believe he has the talent to beat both of them. Now, does he have it up there mentally to be able to go in there and put it all together? We will have to see. But he definitely had the talent. This fight is miles away. No point of taking. What fight is miles away? WBC in the WBC because WBC Alvarez is from Mexico and WBC presides in Mexico, so yeah, of course, true that. So yeah, man. I mean, to me, we get a good fight no matter what. If Jermall Charlo fight Golovkin, that's a great fight. I'm not. Now it's not fair to Jermall Charlo that he has to fight Triple G first to get his shot, which he should have got a shot right away. But it's good for the fan. It's good for us, the supporters. Like a supporter like me of boxing, I get to see a good fight. I get to see a really good fight. And then whoever win that fight, I get to see another really good fight. So whether it's Charlo fighting Canelo or Triple G in a Rebel match versus Canelo, we we get to see another good fight. So I'm not mad at it. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. It was good talking to y'all, Swaggy D and Az, man. Hey, it was good chatting it up with y'all, man. I'm gonna get out of here though. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Later, y'all.